star Jennifer Lopez. Having ascended to the very top of the entertainment world, J-Lo thought it was time to remind everyone of where she came from, and to quite literally list off all her achievements up to that point. The Jenny from the Block video also heavily featured J-Lo's squeeze at the time, Ben Affleck, and the two went by a name that they hated, Bennifer. They were absolutely everywhere, and they very nearly got married, but it wasn't to last. Nothing could have survived the fallout from the box office bomb that was Julie, I guess. Ben did go on to marry a Jennifer, though. Jenny from the Block came from the curiously titled This Is Me Then album, which was another huge success, selling over 6 million copies worldwide. By this stage, J-Lo had also had a few big movie successes that didn't quite make it into the lyrics of this song.
I think what's so fascinating about her is that she did sort of start out as this kind of serious actress, and she was in Out of Sight, and she did U-Turn, which is an Oliver Stone movie, and she kind of did a lot of smaller indie roles. And now she just wants to do romantic comedies, and she likes the romantic comedy. Again, she's not trying to be anything she's not, and it's clear that she likes to, just sort of get swept off her feet by a man. And, I loved Maid in Manhattan. I think that's, who doesn't like a maid that rises to the top and has an affair with the senator? And Monster-in-Law was really great because it was Jane Fonda's major return to the screen, and they are such two different people completely different careers, and it was great to see them sort of go at each other because it was such an odd pairing.
And by the time the single Get Right came out, Jennifer was putting in several acting performances in her videos as well.
Get Right, I feel like, is my favorite video of hers. So I think she was getting more confident about who she was as an artist, and she was telling more of her story. I feel like it was one of her better songs, and the video was really good, where she did this kind of Foo Fighters, I'm playing all the characters in my video. I'm the nerd, I'm the dancer, I'm the waitress. So, and there's a really good dance number in the middle that if you happen to be maybe listening to it on your iPod, like I might have been doing, it encourages you to maybe work out a little harder because you think of how on point she was in that video.
It's just like a hot dance track, but again, incorporating some of those funk elements, like the heavy drums and really, really blaring horn. You know what I mean? So so it's not just a straight club track. It has an element of funk to it, and it's just about partying and getting right in the club. So that's what it's about. The video itself, it's kind of fun. It takes place in a club, and it's about all the different kinds of characters and people that are in a club at one time. And I won't ruin it for you. I'll just tell you that much for now. So it's more of a surprise when you see it.
Get Right was the first single off the Rebirth album. Jennifer chose the title because she wanted to shake off the J-Lo diva image that she felt followed her around, and she was inspired by icons of the past.
One of the things I did that was the inspiration, when I did take some time off, I was listening to a lot of James Brown and a lot of funk and blues, old stuff, from old, 40s, 30s, you know what I mean? Just really heavy horns and drums and stuff like that. And I definitely wanted to incorporate that into my sound. It's one thing to kind of listen to things and get inspiration, but you kind of have to make it yours, do it in your way. And so that's what we did. And I think with some of the singles like Get Right and Whatever You Want, and even Still Around, you really get that feeling of that old kind of thing that makes you move. Those songs that just kind of be like, oh, do I know this song? But you don't. It's the first time you've heard it. It feels like you know it.
However, despite all the inspiration, the album didn't prove to be a big success. But it seemed as if her personal life was doing very well, as she married fellow Puerto Rican pop star Marc Anthony. And she was back with another album entitled Brave very quickly, along with the single Do It Well.
Do it, you do it, you're doing it well. Brave for me is really a state of mind that I'm in my life, and I realize that every time I sit down to make an album, you know, that you really gotta, I really do look at what's going on in my life and who I am and how I feel, and all of those feelings wind up kind of making their way onto the album, and we got this song called Brave, and it was about, it's actually the last cut on the album, and it's about, you know, loving, or, you know, being unafraid to love after you've been through some hard things or hard situations, hard times with other relationships, and just taking that plunge again and not being afraid. And I think this is what this whole album is about a positive, you know, love, or something that has a lot of great energy to it, and I think that's all on the album.
I liked Do It Well a lot. I liked the Brave album. I mean, the whole thing is that I still think that she has consistency with all her albums, so I think that, I don't know, people expect with, like, Madonna to constantly be reinventing her sound or her music to sort of, I think that we look at pop stars sometimes as needing to do that as well, and we sort of put them up, and we kind of expect too much out of them. And it's like Jennifer Lopez, she makes good radio-friendly, dance-friendly songs, and she does what she does well, and so I think that was at a time where maybe the public wanted something different, but I personally thought it was good. I was like, if it's not broke, you know, don't fix it.
I love being able to talk about the album, and I love letting people know it's out there, because you take 2 years of your life and you put your heart and soul into this music, and every single little beat and word is so thought out and has to be perfect, and you listen to it a million times to make sure that it's exactly the statement that you want to make, and then you come out with an album like this, like Brave, that you really feel has a positive message for the world, you know, as far as love and relationships are concerned, and you want to be able to put that out there and make sure people know that. So when they start talking about other things, it can be frustrating, but at the same time, I understand it.
But despite all the positive messages she wanted to put out, Jennifer unfortunately had to put out a sad one when it was announced that she and Marc Anthony had split up.
I wasn't surprised about her recent split from Marc Anthony. I knew it was coming. I knew they'd been having problems for a long time. That it was coming now, yes. That it was recent, yes. You never know exactly when something's going to hit, but there had been many times she was going to leave and kept coming back, and finally she did.
Yeah, I think she always put on a very strong public front, and I think she seems like someone who's really in control and polished and presents herself in the right way. So even if there was something going on, she wouldn't show it. She's a professional. So I think you couldn't see it coming if you weren't maybe intimately, if you didn't know her in that way. So it was a shock to everybody, and all the media coverage as a result came from the fact that it seemed like everything we had known about them as a couple was that everything was great, and they had these 2 beautiful kids, and so I think it was a shock.
But in her professional life, Jennifer has been riding on a wave of resurgence following her highly successful stint as a judge on American Idol.
I think American Idol ushered in a new era for her. It really reinvigorated her career. It was a big comeback of sorts. It gave her a platform for her music, which greatly helped it. You know, she's shown that you can't really hold her down. I mean, she'll just find some other way to bounce back. Of course, she's back with her old manager, Benny Medina, who really knew how to manage her. And she's doing all of these things now, these clothing collaborations and more movies and more of everything. I mean, you can't get enough of J-Lo.
I think American Idol has been great for her. It's been extremely popular. I think she's actually great as a judge. She's very eloquent. People love to look at her. And again, she's a model for her fashions on this different show every single time. So yes, I think she should keep up with it, and I think it's only been a benefit for her.
And she's back, producing huge hits again, with On the Floor being one of the biggest songs of the year.
Recently, she did On the Floor, another big hit. Again, she sort of gone on to Pitbull and got into that whole sound, which he's been very good with. So she's very smart at finding the right collaborators and the right people to make her look good.
I really do enjoy Get on the Floor. I think it's a great song. It skyrocketed up the charts right when it came out. So I think it's, if you want to be on trend and talk about music, which is right on trend, there couldn't be another type of song that would work.
She's in control of what she wants to do next, and she's one of those people who has taken her talent in so many different directions, and everything from being, on American Idol to performing to acting to she has a furniture line. So I think there is a lot that you can do if you're Jennifer Lopez right now.
But what does Jennifer herself want to do?
I don't want to travel. I don't want to see a plane. I don't want to see a hotel. I don't really want to see too many people. I just want to be at home, quiet, that's it.
Well, there you go.
Don't stop, keep it